and welcome into our studio. Across from me is Todd, my dad, 13 years in voiceover. And I'm Hudson, in my third year of voiceover. This is where Dad, Todd, gives tips that he also has given me. And he's been doing it for a while, so he might have a thing or two that might stick with you. So lend him your ear for a little bit here. And if you want to check out, past Todd's tips that you maybe haven't, this is your first one, go ahead and go back. We have a playlist of them all, and there's plenty of them. So find them there on our YouTube, and we'll get into it.
I don't want to take too long, but we started these Todd's Tips and our podcast, the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast, and our numbers that we do with Hudson's numbers, my numbers, and VO Marketing Pro's numbers, just to be a resource for VO talent, but to also have a lot of transparency, especially with our numbers. Mm-hmm. And that video is coming up, and you're going to talk about your numbers this week. I'll talk about mine. And Jonathan will talk about VO Marketing Pros. But we wanted to watch, especially my business and Hudson's business, and then have tips that I'm working on, he's learning, and hopefully there'll be something that you'll see work, especially in his career as it continues to grow.
Well, and just showing that, your tips are working and stuff like that, and that you're giving them the same tips that you're giving your son.
Yes.
So there's not going to be...
Very well put.
There's not going to be any mischief or like there could be.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
And these are free of charge. So use them if you'd like to. And as we always say, your voiceover business is your voiceover business. You do your business your way. And yet these are things that you can think about. And one of the ways we try to prove that to you is by putting these caveats on the screen. And they're just to help you be able to look and say, well, these are Todd's specific situations that he is involved in. And maybe they don't necessarily apply to me. Or maybe I need to take what he's saying and wisely, carefully, thoughtfully apply it to my business. That's kind of what I would hope people would do, is not just throw the baby out with the bathwater. So, well, he's 63 years old. He's been in it 13 years. Oh, he's this or that. And I can't do that, or I won't do that, or that's not. I would just take it and think about it and try your best to apply some of these things, because I think they're tried and true and tested. So today, after we've given those caveats, this is Todd's Tips. But we have been doing, under the umbrella of Todd's Tips, we've been talking about some do's and don'ts. And we're continuing on that theme. Today is a do, and it's this. I do believe in being open for business. Being open for business. Now, Hudson and I, we live in a small town. It's the town that I grew up in, a town of about 1,700 people. Lots of good things could be said about growing up in a small town, living in a small town, way too many to list right now. But living in a small town does have a few drawbacks or disadvantages. Like, for instance, if you want a great pizza at 11 o'clock in the evening delivered to your door, hot, piping hot, you're not going to get that. Not in this small town anyway. They literally roll up the streets about 9 o'clock, and there's hardly anything open around here. Got to drive about 25 miles to Madison to get anything. Another thing that happens in small towns like ours is that sometimes, not all the time, sometimes local businesses aren't really open for business. But let me give you an example. Our local coffee shop is open for business. And kudos to the owner, Michelle. I tell her all the time, you're going to be successful because you're open for business. And what I mean by that is this. Every day, rain, shine, sleet, snow, 6 a.m., when she says she's going to be there, signs are out, doors open, coffee's ready.
She's there.
Food is ready. Every day, same solid, basic quality menu. Every day, same cheery greeting, engaging personality. Every day, customer-centric. That's being open for business. She's open for business for over a year straight, and her business is growing. Imagine that. VO talent can learn a lot from this coffee shop owner in our little small town. Woody Allen said 90% of life is just showing up, just being there. It's kind of that way in school, isn't it? Especially like grade school and high school. If you show up, you have a decent attitude, treat the teacher nice, treat your classmates nice, you're probably going to get a B or an A, even if you aren't that smart. Be open for business. Don't be flaky. Be easy to work with. Under promise, over deliver every single day. Eventually, you'll win over customers and you'll outlive the competition. Be open for business. I do believe in that. I try to be open for business every day, and I think it's continuing to serve me well.
That doesn't mean that you don't take a vacation here or there, but your main business plan is to make money.
Yep.
And so you are open for business.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and again, the coffee shop is different than VO, obviously. There's lots of differences, but there's some sameness, and that is that you can go there and you're dependable.
Well, there's convenience too. Yep. Sometimes that's in the voiceover world. They want somebody who's going to be right there right away.
Yeah,
open for business, instead of saying, well, this guy's got a really good voice, but you got to hit him at the right time.
You never can get a hold of him. He doesn't get back with you. He's not open for business yet.
Great. Thanks for that. So next up, we've got our numbers video. You can check out how my week went, my dad's week went, and then Brother John from VO Marketing Pro, how their week went, if you're a part of that, or if you want to be part of it, or if you're not a part of it. So,
by the way, a little sneak preview. We're thinking of renaming Todd's Tips to Hud's Tips because of the week that he had. So you'll have to look at that. I'm not sure
that's, yeah.
Not yet anyway.
We haven't said that yet, but
it's coming.
Yeah. So check that out next.